Is there a school that they train police chiefs to be stupid, ignorant of the law, and racist? If so, she graduated. Police chief blames too many minorities for her cop macing a bystander. Just look at her. According to Atlanta Black Star, East Lansing Police Chief Jennifer Brown blamed a disproportionate number of minorities coming into the community to commit crimes to justify police pepper spraying two Black friends within inches of their faces under false accusations in August. What? What, Miss Brown? Black men, Lonnie Smith, Mason Woods, both 22, were participating in Michigan State University's Fall Welcome. It's a week-long series of events to welcome new students to the university when they were pepper sprayed and arrested by an overly aggressive cop who accused them of fighting. But Smith was actually trying to break up a squabble between Woods and another man outside Dave's Hot Chicken in downtown East Lansing when they were both pepper sprayed by a cop who also pepper sprayed fellow cop. This is some Barney Fife nonsense. And other citizens. And they had nothing to do with the squabble. Last week, the Black men filed a pair of lawsuits against the East Lansing Police Chief Jennifer Brown for lying about what took place that night, despite being aware of video evidence that contradicted her claims. So you're a racist and a liar. Which is what I'm trying to say. Well, usually race baiting and lying about people's race, it's kind of all in the same dirty pool. Shed the evidence. Lawsuits obtained by Atlanta Black Star also list East Lansing police officer Andrew Lyon as a defendant. The cop who was captured on surveillance video pepper spraying the two men at close range after the altercation had already been diffused. Chief Brown then tried to justify Lyon's actions to local media. Who'd she blame? An influx of minorities attending Fall Welcome. We have a very transient population, and over the last month, starting with Welcome Weekend, we have had a disproportionate number of, these people are stupid, minorities come into the community and commit crimes. And as police officers, we are simply responding to those crimes. If you don't get this woman out of that job immediately, I don't understand why even a Karen minding her business, eating a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup at her table, hearing that statement come across the television wouldn't say, she's got to go. Even a Karen would see, you're done. Surveillance video, however, from Dave's Hot Chicken shows a group of young adults, both Black and white, male and female, who are laughing with each other as they await their turn to enter the restaurant. Then Woods begins exchanging words with another Black man with glasses, but it was mostly talk with some minor pushing and shoving when a third Black man intervenes to hold Woods back in an attempt to defuse the altercation. Not a single punch was thrown by the time Smith walked across the street to help hold his friend back. But then the cops arrived. And that's when they decided, I know, let's reenact Freaknik. That's when they got crunk. The cops are the ones who kicked it up a few notches. They escalated the situation by pepper spraying the two men as well as others. You get a spray, you get a spray, you get a spray, spray for everybody. That's what these fools who, I guess, went to the police academy decided was the right thing to do. A month after the incident, East Lansing Police Department issued a press release claiming they were the ones who diffused the situation. Lie. Falsely accusing Smith and Woods of fighting each other. Well, it involved three Black men. You all look alike. You all look alike, so I guess they couldn't tell. Both men were charged with disorderly conduct and fighting, but charges were dismissed in October. So you're going to make it worse. Let's just keep pouring out the lies. The lawsuit accused the defendants of violating the men's Fourth Amendment rights through false arrest, excessive force, excessive detention, as well as battery, slander, libel. Is there any more we can tack on there? I hope you're working on that. NAACP Lansing branch has been calling for the chief's resignation over the racist comments. From what Chief Brown said, a disproportionate number of minorities committing crimes. It's alarming. And she actually believes that, said Harold Pope, president of the NAACP Lansing branch. Everyone under her will work in that vein. When they go out to work, when a weekend happens, they're focused, they're targeted on minorities. Data seems to support use of force is overwhelmingly used against African Americans, according to WLNS. The data for July shows that 88% of people subjected to some form of use of force, guess what, folks? They were identified as Black African American. In June, the number was a little more than 55%. So it's working, Chief Brown, who's a nincompoop and a racist. It's working. She said it. She's not going to resign because she lacks the moral fortitude. So she's not going to resign. But the bigger problem I see with her statement, Jackson, it's so brazen, it's so outlandish, is she doesn't even know what she said is offensive, ignorant, wrong, slimy, racist. She doesn't, that's even worse. She's so thick. She doesn't even understand what she said. What's the problem? A bunch of Black people were coming in here, so we were just going to be proactive and start spraying everybody.
Yeah, this whole thing, this wouldn't even be a story if she had just said too many people come into the community. Like if she didn't mention that too many minorities come here, then no one would be talking about this whatsoever. And the reason, obviously, that it's so important is because of the position that she holds and how that impacts culture and how that impacts the way that policing is done in that area. But yeah, she clearly, like you said, what makes it worse is that she has no real wherewithal of how that would come out off to other people. Even if that is what she really believes, not being able to see that other people might have a problem with that really disqualifies her from being in any kind of leadership position. But obviously, the world isn't perfect and doesn't always work in a merited fashion like that. But yeah, no, that's definitely a problem with her being in that position. And she seems to not have a lot of insight going on whatsoever.
No, and I'm going to tell you this. First of all, Magic Johnson, come home. Okay. Lansing and East Lansing need you. Okay. They need your help. And for that matter, University of Michigan needs to call for her ouster because kids in East Lansing aren't safe as long as this Brown lady, Ms. Brown, and Officer Lyons, appropriately named, are still with badges and guns. They're not fit. We know that. I mean, even if he weren't predisposed to spraying Black people at a chicken joint, he's a fool who should be stripped of his duties and fired because he's spraying everyone. How that can't be protocol. Is that protocol? Magic, come home. East Lansing needs you. University of Michigan, say something. I have a good track record of saying things when people are exploited, but you can always start today.